So here I am. It's
Yes,
all fine, all good.
it's good.
Yeah.
Nice, very nice. So, Mr. Harshish, how would you like to do this? Would you like to do a question and answer model? Would you like us to just free flow and talk? How do you usually do this?
All right. So few questions. It will be like a free flow, right? But we will cover few topics. Correct.
Mm-hmm.
So I will ask about Ginza Coffee. Correct. About
Yes,
your firstly, how you landed in coffee industry. Correct. About your professional career, and then
yes,
your journey in Ginza Coffee. Correct.
yes,
And about the policies you have in Netherlands in European country, right? What policies you
yes,
have for the coffee grower and for the importing and the technology, correct? See, coffee is a very reactive substance, right? It takes a lot of moisture, right?
yes.
So what technologies you have in European country, to tackle all the problems everyone is facing when it comes to coffee. So these
Yes,
few
yes,
questions,
absolutely.
right, we'll be discussing
Absolutely.
about. Yeah.
In Europe, we have very good measures to make sure that the coffee is ethically sourced, and the companies can do a lot with this.
Right.
And it is also very important on a cultural level to always take care of the environment because, as you know, Mr. Ashish, in the Netherlands, we are a country that we look very forward to take care of the environment. So green
Correct.
practices, I think we already started, okay? But
Yeah.
green practices are absolutely important. We, for example, in Ginza Coffee Collective, when we work in our importation system to bring coffee from different places of the world, for example, we bring geisha beans, which is an Arabica type of varietal, unique in the world.
Okay.
It's very high altitude and a beautiful weather for
Okay.
coffee. Very a little bit cold in the night and very sunny and nice during the day. So it's very special. But when we work with the cooperatives or we work directly with the owners of the
Correct.
fields, we
Correct.
always make sure that the prices are equal because that way we can make sure that there is a fair trade in the track record of our coffee. It's not good if we can find very good and cheap coffee, but that coffee is not being ethically sourced,
Correct.
which is very important for us as at Ginza Coffee Collective and also for the European environment.
Correct.
Because, yeah, that's absolutely key.
Perfect.
That's why we have certain measures that all the providers need to meet in order for us to import their coffee to the Netherlands.
Okay.
It's very serious. It's very serious because we do believe that coffee is a growing industry.
Correct.
Coffee is growing, and I think that it is responsible for us that we are right now in the present in the coffee industry and coffee business to
Correct.
take care of the sustainability so we can keep going for many, many more decades.
Correct.
This is not only for us, this is for the companies that are going to come to play in the future. So
Correct.
to take care of the environment is absolutely key. And if I may ask you, Mr. Ashish,
Yeah.
in India, how does this process work? How does importation works?
All right. So in India, it's a growing market, as you said. It's coffee is growing globally, not only in India or
Yes.
European countries. Like the demand of coffee is increasing. There is a shift in the demand in India right now because till now India was a tea drinking country, but now we are
Yes.
changing it to coffee drinking. So the new Gen Z which is coming up, they are more keen about coffee. All the doctors and fitness enthusiasts, they talk about coffee. That coffee is good for health, and that is where
Yes.
the
It is.
shift is happening now. Correct, from tea to coffee. So
Yes.
we were exporting most of the coffee still now, correct? But now with the government policies, with the increasing demand locally, we are consuming it,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So
You stop exporting or you just do the two things, importing and exporting.
So we have not you stopped exporting. We are
Yeah.
consuming it more locally now.
Yes.
Correct.
Very
Previously,
nice.
it was
That's it.
exporting a lot of the coffee. The maximum percentage we were exporting, but now a good percentage we are consuming also.
That is wonderful. Less of a logistical hassle because it's within the country, so it doesn't have to be shipped too much. So
Correct.
that's pretty nice. That's pretty nice.
Correct.
So the consumption in India is growing a lot for what you can say.
A lot, a lot.
And
Yes.
if I may ask you another question, which are the typical coffees in India? Because, for example, in Europe we have the cappuccino, or we have
Yes.
the americano, which are part of the heart of the people. What
Correct.
is in India the coffee like?
India is filter coffee. Indians love filter
Filter
coffee.
coffee, amazing.
Yes.
Filter
So,
coffee, filter coffee. Ashish, if I may ask you, if I may tell you, filter coffee, French press,
yes.
is the method, the most pure method to obtain the
Correct.
purest flavor of the coffee.
Correct.
When we do the cuppings, the cuppings are when we try each coffee,
Correct.
each bean, to see the quality. We always use the French press method because it is the
Yes.
most pure. It is not as fancy, maybe, as other
Correct. The
type of
genuine coffee
coffees that you.
flavor you will get out of it.
Sorry.
The genuine, the rich coffee flavor you will get out of it.
The real, you got the body, you got the aroma, because those are the measures that we take when we are in our cupping room. We always
Yes.
check number one, acidity, the levels of acidity that a coffee has. Then
Correct.
we check on the body. We see if the body is very thick or is more tea-like, more watery-like. And then we check on the flavors, and that's a beautiful process. That is called the
Yes.
cupping room.
Copying
I
room,
don't know
correct.
if this exists in India, right? Yes, of course.
Of course, yes. Not only
Yes.
in India, wherever coffee is growing and wherever coffee brands are there or consuming, this is the process which exists, because cupping is a very common method, like we have to do it when you are running a
Yeah.
brand. Yes.
It's the only way to really understand what you are bringing to the consumers, and
Correct.
that's important. That we believe, for example, in Ginza Coffee Collective, we believe on excellency, and that's why always our beans first come to us, and then we work on the coping room. We develop the profiles, and that's when we can decide to, yes, the product is completely amazing for the customer, so now we can
Correct.
start selling it and moving it around Europe. We also have a lot of sales outside of Europe, which is something pretty nice in difficult countries because they know a lot about
Yes.
coffee. When you get an order from a Colombian person,
Correct.
Colombians, they have a huge heritage with coffee, and they are huge producers too, one of the biggest.
Yes, one of the
So
biggest.
you feel like, oh my God, this is gonna be a challenge. If they like it, it's good.
Correct, correct, correct. Because they are the growers, and they the lot of
They've
variety
been
they
doing.
grow there.
They are part of the famous coffee belt that
Yes,
surrounds the entire world. Colombia is a huge part of that beautiful belt.
correct.
And yes, production of coffee, production of coffee has been getting better and getting bigger in places in Central America too. For example, in Nicaragua, we work directly with traders from Nicaragua, and yes, there is more harvesting going on. There is more exportation. So yeah, coffee is not only growing in India, but it is
Yes,
also it keeps growing in Europe.
correct.
There is no limit because, for example, in Europe, in the Netherlands, we have one of the highest consumptions per capita of coffee in all Europe. But you might think it's Italy. For example, I'm Italian, and
Yes,
I always thought that in any other country in the world we can drink more coffee than in Italy, but that's not true. In
correct.
the Netherlands, there is also an incredible coffee culture that is very special. It's absolutely special. Here in
Correct.
the Netherlands, coffee is well seen during the entire day. In
Yes.
Italy, you might say cappuccino never after midday. But here in the Netherlands, there is more of a free flow. So,
Yes.
and with the cold, hashish, with the cold that we have in the Netherlands, because this is a very cold country,
Correct.
coffee comes absolutely hand to hand with it. Absolutely.
Correct. So climate plays a very important role in the consumption of coffee.
Absolutely, absolutely. It can dictate how the coffee moves. But since because this is the amazing thing about the coffee industry, and this is one of the things that I like the most about it. It's versatility.
Correct.
It's a versatile industry. So, for example, if it's hot, we have invented the iced coffee. So
Yeah.
we don't rely on any seasonal changes. We can sell
Yes.
coffee all year long. So
Correct.
it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
Correct.
It's a
Absolutely.
beautiful.
Yes. I agree.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
tell
yeah.
me more about Ginza Coffee. You know how you started, and your background, how you have come to coffee industry, and what pulled you in coffee industry and started Ginza.
Yes, okay. Well, when it comes to coffee, to the coffee industry, I've been
One
surrounded by
second, one
coffee
second,
since I was. Yes,
one
take your
second.
time, take your
Yeah,
time,
yeah,
take
one
your
second.
time, please.
Yeah, I just wanted to.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've been surrounded with coffee all my life. As an Italian, it's something that is completely on the blood. I was raised in the farms, looking at the trees. Even though Italy is not the biggest producer of coffee, but we have a very good production there. And then I started to work in the hospitality sector, doing coffee resources, which means that I was in charge of measuring the quality of
Okay.
the coffee acquired by many, many companies that sell on a bigger level. Multinational companies usually. Basically, bringing the coffee, doing a laboratory, which is very important. In a laboratory, we can measure the moisture, we can measure the mistakes, we can measure the quality, we can measure the size of the beans. So that's
Correct.
very important. This is that's a little bit of my background when it comes to the technical aspect of the matter. And of course, then I moved to the Netherlands. Luckily, I moved to the Netherlands 4 years ago. And
Okay.
when I came to the Netherlands, I started to miss good coffee.
All right.
So I said, oh, yes, okay, I have a problem because I don't like the coffee that I'm trying. I'm not saying it was bad coffee, but it's not up to my
Taste.
standards.
Correct.
So me and my co-founder decided to put a stop into it, and we said, okay, let's build a company doing B2B, which is we work for companies too. We establish coffee machines, like I think you saw, because I mentioned this to Harshita. We
Yes.
establish coffee corners in companies, and then we provide with our technology, with our machines, and we provide with the ethically sourced, high quality beans for those companies.
Okay.
Because Harshish, when you are on a building and there is a coffee machine
Yes.
there, it is usually not the best coffee. So we said no, we can do better. We can do better. So we try with a lot of work. We started to implement the machines to develop the system. Luckily, Harshish at Ginza Coffee Collective, we control all the chain of production. So
Very
that's
nice.
very important for us. We start from harvesting
Okay.
to getting the beans, to building the machines, building the technology, and placing them in the companies.
Okay.
We have some big companies. We have some big companies with 20, 50 employees. We have some other smaller companies with 15, 10 people. And then we also have the system of selling directly bags to the
Okay.
customers in all Europe. Yeah?
Okay. So that's good, because actually people say that, from bean to cup services we provide, you are actually doing it. And that is
We
where you
have
can control the quality. Otherwise, it's very difficult, when you are relying on someone else for the technology or for the bean or for the roasting, you cannot give the quality like how you want to give to the
no.
market.
That is absolutely true, but we believe that all the companies can do this and should do this, because if we are doing it,
Yes.
everyone else can do it. It is not very difficult. For example, Ashish, when we receive the burlaps, of coffee, we receive our container of coffee with different varietals.
Correct.
It is absolutely important for the coffee masters to take the samples, try the product, make sure that the quality is fine.
Correct.
Not only one bag of burlap, all of them. We need to take sample of all of them, because you know maybe cooperatives, sometimes they mix the beans, and you
Yes.
can find Arabica or Robusta beans. So you need to be, you know very well about
Yes, you
this. You
have to
need
be
to
on your
be on point
toes.
of everything.
Yes.
So yes, we have a team. We have a team of roasters, which are coffee masters, and
Okay.
they handle the roasting process.
Okay.
Sometimes, for example, one customer wants a dark roast of a coffee, and we roast dark for him.
Okay.
Some other customer wants a light roast, and we roast everything by the order.
Okay.
For example, if right now we receive an order, that coffee will be roasted right now. Then
Okay.
it will have between 24 and 48 hours of resting, so we can release all of the better quality of the smell for the coffee, and then we pack it
Okay.
and we sell it. But yes, Ashish, we are very committed on that, and also on the environmental part, and we also believe that more companies should involve into this, because
Yes.
all our packaging process is completely recyclable. All
Okay.
our bags of coffee are recyclable. The boxes are completely recyclable,
Okay.
and that's important because we need the circular economy to keep
Correct.
working for every single one of us.
Correct.
And we found, Harshish, we found a lot of good reception in Europe when it comes to the green measures. People, customers, they really appreciate it, and we see also a tendency of people going more green, going
That's good.
towards the environmental safety measures. And that's something really special. That is one of the most beautiful things about this, is not only to sell coffee, but to do it while taking care of the environment. It's a dream. That's a dream.
Correct, because we only have to take care of the environment. If the environment will start taking care of itself, it will be a disaster.
Absolutely, it's not doable. It's either us or nobody else. And we are
Yes.
seeing the results right now of not taking care of the environment.
Correct.
So we need to pay attention. Those are the new generations. That's what I want. When I see different companies in the Netherlands or in Europe, I always check how are their policies when it comes to green measurements. But
Correct.
sometimes they get left behind because it's also not very easy to implement. But it
Not
can be
very
done.
easy,
We are the
but
proof of that.
the government policies differs from country to country. So sometimes it's not in your hands also.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct. But trying is always important.
Correct. You have to.
Yes.
Yes. So,
Yeah, for
what
sure.
government policies are there for coffee? Do government provide any kind of subsidies or any funds to increase coffee production or consumption, or for the
We don't
farmers?
we don't have a many coffee production in Netherlands. Okay, production when it comes to the bean, because it's a country that is absolutely difficult for coffee because it's completely cold. So the coffee tree cannot stand so low temperatures. But we do have a lot of measurements when it comes to the importation.
Correct.
Yes, there is measurements to take care absolutely of the environment, of the ethical sources products, and of course you can get some benefits from tax when you are paying the fair prices to the farmers and to the people. So there is support in
Okay.
the Netherlands to entrepreneurs to develop green practices, and that is something important.
Okay.
We are a country that we really put good pressure into making these sort of decisions, and of course all the security and healthy wise measurements. For example, no contamination on the coffee. No contamination is absolutely important to make
Correct.
sure that there is no residues. We always need a laboratory. We always need a laboratory so
Correct.
we can explain from where the coffee is coming, what are the qualities of the coffee, if it's 100% Arabica, if it's 80% Robusta. We need to be able to say that because there has been a tendency in the past 10 years,
Okay.
hashish, in Europe, of selling Robusta coffee
Okay.
at different. So now the thing that we are looking is you can sell Robusta and you can sell Arabica, but you need to be clear.
Correct.
You need to be clear in what you're selling, in your packaging. The packaging is absolutely key. We do have a lot of rules that we have to follow in the packagings, like, for example, roasting facilities.
Okay.
We need to have for all the certifications for the roasting facility.
Okay.
Uh, Bio measures for the people that roast the coffee. For example, if you're roasting the coffee, you need special gloves to make sure that there is no environmental
Contamination.
hazard.
Okay.
You also need special materials of steel. It cannot be plastic. So honestly, there are so many little things that you have to follow. But it is
Yes.
not difficult, Hashish. It can be done. It takes maybe a little bit more effort and passion, maybe,
Correct.
and love, but
Correct.
it's doable. It is
So as
doable.
you said, it need more passion. That is, I think, that is what missing in many
Yes,
companies. Because they see it as
yes,
a product, as a business, not as they are not doing out of passion. That is
yes.
where they
It
see
can
how to
be.
save little money. But they don't see what goes wrong in a product.
Yes, money is important, but it should be not the first thing. First is to give a good product, to be proud of your company. Money is going to start to come if you do things right.
Yes.
If you are confident enough uh, that the coffee is well, is good, it will be amazing. But Harshish, you will try our coffees because I will prepare to you and the team, and we run because let me tell you, you have built a wonderful team.
Yes. Thank
I've been
you.
speaking with Harshita, pure talent, pure passion. She's so passionate about
Correct.
coffee
She is. Yes.
that it is something amazing. So I'm gonna send to the team different type of coffees, so you can try a little bit of the coffee that we try in the Netherlands.
Please.
I
I'm
think
excited.
you, yes, it's gonna be really really special, really special. But
Yes.
yeah,
So
we need
Harshita,
more passion and commitment.
correct. So Harshita comes from a coffee growing region. So she knows, how it grows and the efforts to grow a coffee.
Yeah,
So
she.
people just see a cup of coffee, but they don't know the effort which goes behind to grow and to bring a good cup of coffee right on the table.